is Chef LaWanda coming to you with Chef LaWanda Studios. I got another video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. It's my classic meatloaf. So get your pen and pad ready so we can get started on this fabulous recipe. Okay, these are the ingredients that we're using. I've got 3 pounds of ground chuck. I'm going to be using 1 2/3 cups of crushed crackers. And I got 1 full cup whole onion chopped, really fine chopped bell pepper. That's 1 cup also. I've got a 1/4 cup or quarter cup of poblano peppers. I've got 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh garlic. I've got 3 eggs. Remember, there's per pound of meat, it's 1 egg per pound. That's my method. I've got black pepper. I've got Lowry salt. I've got more garlic powder. And I've got tomato sauce. I'm using the Hunt's tomato basil sauce. So I'm using 1 cup of it into my meatloaf, but we're going to use the rest of it for tomato gravy. Also, I have ground powdered onion. So let's get started. Really quickly here, I'm going to go ahead and season the ground meat. So I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon of onion powder in here. About 1 tablespoon. Or 2 teaspoons of ground onion. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of garlic, ground garlic. I'm going to be using approximately, let's just go with 2 teaspoons of Lowry salt, because our crackers it's saltine crackers, so we want to make sure that we don't over salt. Black pepper, about 1 tablespoon of black pepper. Okay, then I'm going to add the garlic. Just go ahead and get this over with here. We're using the garlic, poblano peppers, the finely chopped bell peppers, finely chopped 1 cup onions, and I'm going to also add the crushed crackers. 1 2/3 cup of crushed crackers. Now you can add more crackers if you like, but right now I don't want I want this to be a really good stuff. A lot of people use crackers for a filler. I'm not doing that today. And I'm going to go ahead and add the 1 cup of tomato basil, 1 cup in here. Now pay attention to the mixture, because I may add more tomato sauce to that. So we're going to blend all of this together. And let's go ahead and do the eggs in here. Let's go ahead and blend that up. I remember watching my mom. My head just reached the table when she used to fix meatloaf. I have tweaked this menu since I saw my mama fix it, but the smell of it was like, oh my God, whatever she's fixing Smells so good. And I've always wanted to fix my own meatloaf, and so here we go. I'm going to add I'm going to make this a half a can of this. So we're going to finish this up with this much. I'm going to leave like a half a can of this left. And this is a 24-ounce can. You can use tomato sauce, tomato puree, which is what my mother used, to this recipe. Move all these things out of the way. All right, we're going to mix this up. We're going to go ahead and pan it up, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that we've mixed this up thoroughly, this is what your meat should look like. So let's go ahead and put this in the pan. I've got a large foil pan here. I'm going to shape this into a loaf. So a lot of people say they can't do this. It's hard, that it breaks, it separates. This is how I learned how to keep my meatloaf from separating. Here on the side I have water. So what I do is put my hands in water and smooth it over the meat. Make sure it's nice and smooth, and it's not going to hurt it. It's not going to hurt your meat when you do this. We're just shaping this into a really nice loaf size so it can stay nice and together as it cooks. It won't separate. Ensuring that you have 3 eggs per pound also helps that as well. Okay, we've got that done. Okay, now what I'm going to do is mix up a topping for this. Here I have like a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar, and I'm going to add let me see, about half of this, most of this, into the brown sugar. Go ahead and mix that up real well here. This is brown sugar. This is for the topping. A lot of people some people put the whole topping of tomato sauce over their meatloaf. But I have a tomato gravy that I use, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, there's a little sweetness to it, which makes this so unique. So we're going to pour this over. The meatloaf, smooth it out, equal portions on. I have my oven preheating to 375. After about 10 minutes, I'm going to reduce it to 350. 375 helps lock in the juices. So here you go. We're going to go ahead and put this in the oven. It's going to take about 45 minutes to 50. I'll check it to make sure everything is okay, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, we finished the meatloaf here. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to remove this from this pan, and I'm going to use the drippings for the gravy that I'm going to make for that. So here we go. Now, if you can move your meatloaf like this, you've got a really nice meatloaf. If it breaks up, don't throw it away, but it'll still be good. So you see, I've removed that from the pan, and I'm going to use these drippings here to make gravy for this meatloaf. Stay tuned. Okay, so here I've got a skillet heated up here. Over here, I've got the rest of the tomato sauce, which is probably about a half a cup of that left. I've got some beef bouillon flavoring for extra added flavor. I've got a little bit of Lowry salt and black pepper. I'm also using like a tablespoon and a half maybe of chopped onion and some flour for my gravy. Put a little bit of olive oil in here, maybe about a teaspoon of olive oil. Now I'm going to use the rest of the drippings from the meatloaf in here. Keep the meatloaf in that. And I'm going to add, along with this, I'm going to add flour. And this is about a 1/4 cup of flour that I'm going to use here. And that is all. Turn this up high and mix this up really well. I want to add a little bit more oil to this so the flour can cook. Just a little bit of oil. It's about a tablespoon of oil just to help dissolve the flour, to mix the flour in with the onions. So here we go. We got a really good sizzle going on here. Remember, I've turned this up to high. I'm going to add black pepper to this. Just about a little bit less than a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm also going to add the beef bouillon flavoring. And right now I'm just going to put like about a same amount as the black pepper. Got that going on here. So I'm also going to be adding some water for stock, hot water. Okay, so I'm going to add this can of tomato sauce, the rest of it, which is about a 1/2 cup. Add water to the can, blend this up. Okay, let's start stirring so we don't get any lumps going on here. This is my tomato gravy for my meatloaf, y'all. That was a whole can of water. We'll let this start thickening up some, and we may need to add more, I'm sure. I have one more 1/2 can of water that I'm adding to this. Now the gravy helps the meatloaf. Some people don't like, probably won't want gravy with their meatloaf. I prefer it. It's because it helps keep the meatloaf nice and moist. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more of the beef bouillon to this. I'm hesitant on the seasoning salt because I don't want this dish to be too salty. And we do know that the bouillon flavors have the sodium in it. Now I say that's really good. Yes. I think it needs just a little bit of garlic powder. Sprinkle a little garlic powder in here. You can also just critique these flavorings until you get the flavor that you want. I'm going to turn this all the way down on low now. I'm going to let these seasonings simmer, marry together, get all acquainted. And this is the gravy for the meatloaf. All right, let's combine these. Okay, here's our meatloaf before I add the gravy to it. Now you can put the gravy in a separate dish on the side, or you can just let the gravy soak into the meatloaf like I'm going to do here. This makes a big difference in having dry meatloaf unless some people want meatloaf dry. I've already done my topping for the top of it, so there's no need for me to put any on top. And here you go, the meatloaf. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this for you guys, give you a glimpse of what it looks like on the inside. And there you go. Classic meatloaf. Oh, good. It's really good. So if you want to try this recipe, you can tweak it however you like. I suggest you use crackers instead of breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs tighten up the meat a lot. Tweak it how you want to. If you've taken these recipes down, you can't miss. Okay, this is another video gone bye-bye. This is Chef LaWanda, Chef LaWanda Studio. Hope you enjoy. Bye.